It's time for the so-called progressives to move on and actually progress. It seems many are stuck back in George Orwell's 1984, where up equals down, inside equals outside, and stupidity reigns. In Orwell's novel, everything was inverted. In the backwards, retarded world he described, there were three slogans: war is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength. Sounds very much like the language and maturity level of many so-called progressives today, don't you think? Whether we're talking about Islam, human trafficking, gender theory, same-sex marriage, or any other myriad of hot topics, the progressives take the inverted position and try to sell it as normal. They are often the ultimate bullies who attempt to intimidate and silence any dissenting views or ideas and scream the word tolerance, even though they cannot tolerate any ideas other than their own. I and others like me are called extremists for shining a spotlight on extremists. We're called bigots for highlighting the fact that Islam is full of bigotry. Do I agree with the Quran and the example of Muhammad? Not on your life. I'm repulsed by the violence, oppression and hate that is promoted and condoned by the ideology of Islam, but somehow progressives want to label anyone who criticises the vile and barbaric aspects of the ideology extreme. I want to have a debate, a reasonable discussion, and yet my opponents, many of them, want to rape me or behead me. I'm not the extremist here. The stupidity level has been beautifully exposed by the recent clash between Islamic community leader Jamal Rifi and the Shia Imam Sheikh Tawhidi. Rifi tries to distance himself and Islam from the atrocious commands in the Quran by being dishonest and vague. Tawhidi, on the other hand, admits the Islamic texts are the motivation for terrorists who literally obey the Quran straight from those texts. The progressives then jump up and down and call Tawhidi the fake sheikh and try to discredit him. Tawhidi's life is then threatened by Muslims who want to silence him. Who is the extremist? You see, friends, war is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance, they believe, is strength. Another example is Christian pastor Margaret Court expressing her views and democratic choices regarding same-sex marriage. She's howled down as a bigot, and progressives jump up and down demanding her retraction and even silence. They want to remove honours bestowed on her for her tennis achievements, and they resort to the low forms of bullying and intimidation. A News Corp journalist, a gay man, decided to step down from his position with a gay lobby group because of the way his own community bullied him. I've had several gay people contact me with their stories of threats and bullying by the gay community as well. It seems the virtue signalling crowd only care about their agenda and will stop at nothing to enforce their view and silence anyone that disagrees. Progressives shout tolerance and compassion, but lack both when it comes to anyone who refuses to submit to their totalitarian agenda. Because war is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength. Conservatives respect that people have differing opinions. They respect the right of freedom of speech, but reject the imposition of ideas that oppress others and suppress freedom. Conservatives engage in debate. Progressives resort to name-calling, insults, and intimidation tactics. It's not 1984, it's 2017, and it's time for progressives to accept that they cannot enforce their ideas through bullying, violence, or infantile insults. It's time to realise conservatives will use their voice to speak truth and fight for true justice and freedom.